welcome to Career Coach Talk. This is Coach Rogers Bean here. Thank you for joining us for yet again another part of our interview series. Now, today, guys, we are going global. We have the one and only Dr. Simone Rosati. Now, this man is coming to you to give you so much wisdom and insight that's coming from across the pond. So you know it's going to be both extremely informational and extremely sexy as well. I'm telling you, the man, the accent is awesome. So let me tell you about Simone. So Simone is has a PhD of science in complexity and integral studies. He has his executive MBA. He's a long-term mediator, juggler, singer, professional mental athlete, international soft and strategic skills consultant, integral coach, exponential organizational contact, and a foresight practitioner. My goodness. This man started his professional journey when he was just only 15 years old. Since then, that has never stopped. Something he and I both have in common. I started my career at 15 as well. He thinks that life has an undeniable directionality, and we agree with that too. Increasingly complexity and the consciousness of a meaningful living in multiplanetary socio-cultural scenarios. He is going to break that down for us. Mr. Simone is creating the 21st century superstar humans movement. These are people who are committed to wake up to a meaningful life, to grow to their highest selves, and clean up their biases and show up as superstar humans for the 21st century in unprecedented transition. His clients are worldwide. He has spoke around the world on various topics that bring us to help people become a better version of themselves. So God, this man seems like he's just another global version of what we do here at Career Coach Talk and My Digital Self Career Coaching Agency. I just want to say welcome, and y'all help me bring in Mr. Simone Rosati to the Career Coach Talk Show. Let's bring him in. Mr. Rosati, man, welcome to the show.
Fantastic, man. Roger, how are you? So happy to be here with you.
Oh, absolutely, man. And tell us all where you're coming from. You're speaking to us from Rome, correct?
Absolutely, yes. I'm from Italy. I'm from Rome. I'm currently from Rome. And yeah, this is where I was born. This is where I live the majority of my life, even though I travel so much for my job. But this is my home country. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So here at Career Coach Talk, we like to go ahead and just jump right in with both feet, So we're just gonna say, we know that COVID has ravaged our country over here, and we know that you guys over there has had your struggles with this pandemic. Yeah. So I'm curious as to, even a guy who's internationally known and operating as yourself, how has this affected your business, and how have you been able to move forward during this time?
Yeah, absolutely a challenge, to say the least. I've been talking about in my classes all around the world, I've been talking about the VUCA word, the so-called VUCA word, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And COVID-19, a pandemic, is just one of the examples I used to mention. But I wasn't expecting this to be real. So, of course, it was a challenge, an expected one. And I mean, how am I dealing with that? Well, first, I used to describe my job with a joke. I'm unemployed. I don't have a job. I have a mission. This is true. I have a mission. I have been so lucky to start my journey in personal growth when I was 15 years old with the library from my father. And really, my career as a coach, consultant, and trainer in the corporate world is just a nice packaging that really is giving myself just a way to sell myself to the world. But the main goal to me is, how can I improve myself, allow people to improve, and hopefully to make this improvement also impacting the corporate world. Why I mentioned this, because when you have this kind of super long-term mission, the ups and downs start to have a completely different kind of meaning for you, for your mind, for your emotions. So they tend to be a little bit less difficult to manage. And of course, I was lucky too, Roger. I have also a nice episode of my life. Since the past 3 years, I've been super active because of not only my job, but also my education. I had an agreement with my wife. So I said to her, from January on, I will not travel for 6 months. Oh my God, I didn't know.
Oh,
I
wow.
was so precise. So my last travel was mid-February, and then I decided to stop. But I know the suffering from the external world. So I started many initiatives for free on my social channels just to
Mhm.
support the people here in Rome and Italy,
So you've been
especially.
offering your service, some of your services for free during this time to help people out, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I
Wow.
really felt the, let me say honestly, the calling to help people, not only entrepreneurs but also employees all over the
Mhm.
our country, which has been impacted hugely.
Mhm.
In terms of mindset, tips, staying together, and I felt that that was the right move for that moment. Yes.
So tell us a little bit more in detail about your business, because in your introduction you talk about you're starting this movement of human evolution, so that people
Yeah.
become the best version of themselves. Tell us a little bit about how you go about helping people become that, and about your movement.
Yeah, thank you very much, Roger. Yeah, this is something really, really profound and deep and important, meaningful to me. I have this mixed profile. I have a degree in philosophy, a PhD in complexity science, and I'm also a very practical and pragmatic guy, entrepreneur and consultant. So when I try to mix these two, I find myself reading books and books and books for the past 20 years. And it's not me, it's a lot of big, big minds sharing about this huge transition we are all navigating. So this entire confusion, the post-truth world, the scarcity to abundance kind of transition has been predicted for a long time. One guy that I love to mention is Claire Graves. In the early 70s, used to talk about this big transition. And this is not a transition from sixth grade to seventh grade. This is a transition from middle school to high school, or even better, from high school to college. And
Okay.
this is a transition of transitions. And it is impacting our mindset, our bodies, our relationships, our environment. So when I say that I want to create a movement, is that I really want to make this knowledge um, available for everybody, and saying that there is a problem, there is a challenge, but there is a lot of tools to use, because I want you, myself first, but you to go a little bit higher for your best version of yourself. A star, meaning, of course, the cool part of being a star, a little bit of narcissism here, but also, how stars form themselves from dispersed materials in the universe. They collapse because of gravity, then there is an
Mhm.
explosion, then because of the explosion there is light. So the same path we can go through in our psychological world. So we can make the most out of our dispersed pulsions, impulses, desires, and then have a core, and then out of that core have an explosion of energy, and then finally shine. So this is my main point. And these are people that I'm start to contact with through my social media channels, people that want to wake up to the real world here, not to be over dramatic, not to be over optimistic, but just to be rational, focus on facts. So wake up
Mhm.
to the real world, grow up to their true self, higher self, and also clean up a little bit, because we all have a lot of biases here because of
Mhm.
this crisis and transitions, and show up. Go there outside. There are several problems out there. We can fix them and we can contribute. This is,
So why do you believe that this is possible for most, if not all people? Why do you what is your belief? Because some people, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I personally agree with it. One of the things that you and I have in common is that I actually started my personal career at age 15 as well.
yeah,
I kind of started that path early. So us early thinkers kind of get to this stage where like the way you're thinking now, which I
yeah.
agree with. So why do you believe that people that may not share the type of backgrounds or level of understanding you and I have can
Yeah.
also, follow, go along this path of human evolution.
Well, thanks for the question. I basically think that when we think about current challenges, because of the FF effect, flight, fight, or
Yeah,
freeze,
fight or flight, fight. Yeah. Hmm.
exactly, we tend to be biased, and we tend to forget that previous, past huge achievements, both from ourselves and humanity. So I used to joke with my clients and say, do you know how many times humanity predicted the end of the world, the apocalypse, you know?
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, I don't know, twice, 10 times. No, 155, my friend. 155. We predicted the end of the world. And this is the cool part. Even though the world is still here, those people are still looking for signals for apocalypse. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
the focus really gives you the filter to go there outside and reality, and because of the focus, you're able to tap into scarcity or abundance. So why people can make this transition, can make this happen? Because in the past, we all have the DNA, the genes, the examples, the episodes in our life where we already have been heroes, meaning the best version of ourselves. All of us, again, in terms of humanity and in terms of each of us. This is a great, great proof.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, just the fact that we're humans and the fact that we're here, it gives us this presupposition that you're here for a purpose and you have the capacity to be, become that great version, that better version of yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there is this bias when we tend to overlook that we already have been heroic. So one of the first example I do when I have one-on-one coaching is go back to your history. I love journaling. I've been journaling for my entire life, 25 years next year.
Mm-hmm.
Go back because you tend to forget, because the FFF effect, you tend to forget your heroic moments. If you focus back, you find that you have different thoughts, different emotions, different energy. Once you go there, you find resourcefulness. Not maybe resources, but resourcefulness. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. You find results. So basically, you find the mindset you need to decide to actually tap into the resources to become that once you change your focus. Because I heard you talk a lot about focus. So basically, what Tony Robbins says to say, where focus goes,
Exactly.
that's what
Energy
grows.
flows. Exactly.
Energy flows. Exactly. So with that being said, I kind of segues pretty good into the next question I have for you. What are some of the common mistakes that you've seen a lot of your clients make, as they're trying to implement this philosophy?
I don't want to appear obsessed here, but again, I mean, they tend to overlook the negative state of mind. Listen, I have been coaching in the past 5 months, 3 big CEOs at the same time. And it's always a talk about the strategy, the operations, the team, always something out there, which is cool. And there are tools I love to share. But the thing is, as soon as you start to allow those thoughts, those that diminishing a little bit your confidence to stay there in your mind, it's just few minutes, it's just few hours, and then you find yourself with a huge lack of resources. You start to have loop thinking, you start to have negative emotional states, your filter starts to change, and you start to believe that it's not possible, that this time the apocalypse will soon be true. You know what I mean? So again, the trick here is that we can think about our thoughts as radio programs. So we can choose them. We can literally choose them. But the trick is that you need to pay attention. As soon as you think that, oh my God, this task is impossible. Oh my God, this team member is difficult to manage. Oh my God, I'm running out of cash. So this is a tragedy. As soon as your inner dialogue starts to be over dramatic, boom, you need to stop, my friend. You need to do something with your body, again, journaling, or going back to your past. I did it. And if it's not you, it's someone else. She was able to overcome that. And if he is part of a human being, I can model that process. So mind your thoughts. Use your thoughts as radio programs. Is that useful for you? If not, change it. But you can change it only when it's easy to change it. Sometimes my clients ask me, how can I deal with rage, Simone? I'm an emotional intelligence certified coach. And I reply with a joke. I think that not even the Dalai Lama can deal and change the rage.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that probably, I don't know him, but probably he doesn't allow himself to arrive there. He catches himself much before, much ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Rage has an anticipation. Rage comes from anger. Anger comes from disappointment. Disappointment comes from, I don't know, loop thinking. So the earlier the signal, the easier to manage. So the common mistake.
I think that I can, this is my philosophy. This is like what I tell some of my clients
Really? Wow.
when it comes to review, don't mind me sharing. So what I tell people is that anger is generated, usually most of the time it comes from a missed expectation.
Yeah.
Right. So you have a certain expectation from a person or from a situation, from something, and that expectation is not met. And that generates a negative, that produces that negative response. So if you can control the expectation and the placement of expectations on people or situations and remove that or minimize it as much as possible, then it can't be used to trigger that anger and response, especially dealing with other humans. I open the door for this person and they didn't open the door for me, and now I'm mad. But if I stop expecting them to open the door for you, that way, if they do, great. If they don't, I didn't expect it. There's no anger. Anger doesn't have a window to get in, in a situation like that. So that's like how I go about managing that.
Love your approach, man. And if I can build on that, the cool part is that usually expectations are unconscious. So we find ourselves not even know about our expectations. We find ourselves in that anger trigger situation without even knowing. So I love that. I love that approach, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a little bit on the personal side, how has, because we kind of talked about a little bit about COVID, and since you're overseas, I'm curious as to how has this affected your day-to-day life with yourself and your family and friends?
Yeah. Well, so I have to say I'm an exception here first, because as I told you, I've been traveling for my entire career, but the last 3 years have been really hectic. And because of my education, I took an executive MBA across the globe and my traveling. So I said to my wife, okay, January, the last month, maybe February, first half, and then I will stop. I will stop for 4 months, 5 months, let's say, up to summer. And I wasn't expecting that to be so true in my predictions. And I also said no to a job travel to Dubai, because I was forecasting that there would have been a problem with this coronavirus. So I'm an exception, and I of course made that decision because I knew that I could run out my cash. I can transform very easily a good part of my job from offline to online. So that's what I did. And so this is me. When it comes to my family, my friends, I had to use my old coaching skills, I have to say, Roger.
Really?
With my mom, with my dad, my parents freak out a little bit because they are old, of course, so they were super scared, always on the TV, listening to the media news. That's okay, but you need to filter a little bit. And my friends, I've been literally increased enormously the frequency of phone calls and gifts. I love kindness, but I also increase the kindness in the spirit. So, on WhatsApp, I just send the music that you love, just a surprise about, the news about your favorite music band, stuff like this, small gestures just to send the message, hey, I'm here, we are struggling, but we're all together. So, and it worked. I have to say that it worked a lot.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for being willing to share that with us, because gives us over here, like, it's not just us having to live the type of lifestyle that we've had to do over here in the U.S. It's actually, this is a global situation.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So another question I have for you, right quick, because you been, as you mentioned, Dubai. I'm pretty sure you've been, of course, you've been to the US and you've been a lot of other places. Is
Yeah.
there any pretty significant moment? Like, do you have like a favorite moment that you can share with us as far as a breakthrough help with somebody or as an opportunity you had that you didn't know was going to come? And so like a very significant moment you've had for yourself and your business.
Well, I love one episode. It happened 1 year, 1.5 years ago. It's always about, you know, the going beyond the current self. So
Mm-hmm.
I was delivering a training session in my business school where I graduated, but they invited me to run the especially soft skill oriented kind of classes. So I was delivering this in London, the inner game of change. So there was the teacher running the strategic side of change, and there was me, the co-teacher, running this. And I was in London for days. I had a few modules, 2 or 3 hours each day, and we finished on Sunday, let's say. And on Monday, I had to deliver a 4-day training for UN in Uganda, in Entebbe. So I had to do the trip during the night with a flight, and I did it, but the flight was late. There was a missing flight from Nairobi to Uganda. Lots of problems. And again, I practice what I preach. Each moment I had that thought, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, the facial expression, the
Right.
body posture. Oh my God, this is not possible. How can this happen to me? Oh, I immediately catch myself and, okay, I can deal with that. Okay, please, can you help me? Okay, let me think to a similar situation where I achieved and I overcome the problem. So I went there, I delivered the training. It was a big success. But at the end of it, when your mind says, finish, it's a 7-day long kind of effort. So your mind say, I can't relax. You know what I mean? So, and at that moment where there was the last half an hour speech, there was a new people in my class. And I saw that was important people like politicians from Africa, Central Africa, with bodyguards, stuff like this. And instead of the director of the base running the final speech, the director told me, Simone, can you run the speech for us? I said, it's not in the program, as you know. So I said, okay, Simone, proactivity, do your best where you are with what you have. Okay, go there. But the problem was that the important people was literally sleeping, eyes closed, you know what I mean? So,
Wow.
and I mean, I want to contribute to people's life. I want to do my best, so I cannot ignore. And there was the other people in the class, the people who had attended my classes, looking at me, smiling a little bit, like saying, "Now, Simone, show what you taught to us."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, this is my moment." And I said, "I want to go and be consistent with my values, which is contribution, which is happiness, which is productivity." So I give an enormous good evening, my friend. I had the microphone, and they immediately woke up, and I say, hey, you know that you are a big person, and you know that your mindset is really important. So I saw some of you probably dealing with a night with less sleep than usual. So we can stand up, and I immediately gave them a 2-3 minutes technique to increase the moment of energy. I'm sharing this because I am struggling too. I have my own values. Life challenges us, but at the end, it pays off a lot, because when I was on my flight back to Rome, I had that incredible moment of relaxation. Also, I was moved by that episode of my life, because I managed to be consistent with my values. This could be one of the episodes I am mostly grateful for. Yeah.
That's an amazing story. You had to live the product you just finished teaching on.
Yeah.
So tell us more about your business. Tell us about and what are some of the services that you offer, and how can we find you? What's your website? Where are you on social media? How can people learn more about the Dr. Simone Rosati?
Oh, thank you. Amazing pronunciation, my friend. Seems like you practiced. Anyway, so well, it's been 22 years that I've been running this show, and it's a lot of stuff on the menu. But if I can summarize, I usually call myself an international soft and strategic skills trainer, coach, and consultant. So basically, my business B2B, even though I am dealing with a huge transition to a B2C online business, but mainly it has been this. So I run years-long training program with big companies like United Nations, H&M, BMW, IBM. And when I say soft and strategic, I mean the soft skills realm is self-development. So in terms of dealing with your levels of energy, your emotions, your focus, your cognitive abilities, and then your emotional intelligence. Then there is the team part, so your relationships in terms of your communication, public speaking, assertiveness, negotiation, and then the business, so in terms of time management, task productivity, agile approach, personal Kanban board, a visual board to help your team and business to thrive. And then there is the strategic side, which is mainly the way I see that, the scenario planning stuff. So I'm certifying myself in scenario planning, in exponential organization consultancy, in strategic foresight, because especially now in this moment, we need to train our familiarity with future. So these are my main for focus. And usually I design trainings and train people in company, or I coach one-on-one, usually executive or CEO levels. And then I also consult, and when I say consultant, I usually consult board of directors. This is my business, but now I am doing a huge transition online. So my website is still, I'm dealing with that, and I think in January will be online. And so my main landing page is LinkedIn, where I'm very active. And this is me, my friend. This is me. Yeah.
Okay, so to reach out to you, the best way to reach out to you is via LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And that's the primary. Are there any other social networks or any other email address that people can reach out to you as well?
Yeah, there is Facebook. I'm pretty active on Facebook too. I can share with you also the link. I'm running a lot of initiatives again for free. Yeah. Mainly Italian, because Italian people still freak out a little bit because of foreign languages. So my Italian community always say to me, no, we want you in Italian, but I'm now happy to run different videos, so I will be active on English too. And so LinkedIn and Facebook mainly. And from January on, I will have my personal website, and I'll be way more active online, way more active.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for your time today, man. This has been really good. Actually, guys, full disclosure, I met Mr. Rosati in Las Vegas a couple of years ago at a Tony Robbins event. So this guy travels, and I got a chance to meet him. And he's an awesome person that I'm able now to even learn more about. So one thing we ask all the people that come on the show, this is my final question for you for today, for the Career Coach Talk audience. If you was to leave us with one message or one thought or something that you find extremely valuable that you want to leave people with, if they was to not remember almost anything that you talked about today, but they was to walk away with something.
Yeah. Well, I have a model I call, this is my PhD, so it's too complicated. It's a big word, metabletics, but forgot about that. I love to share the easy version. It's AAA. So we need to train our ability to acceptance, ambition, and ascension. Meaning we need to accept ourselves. We need to practice gratitude on a daily basis. Because of that gratitude, we can accept that we, as human nature, we want to go always and always outside our comfort zone. This is the ambition side, which is healthy only if it comes from acceptance. So acceptance, ambition, and then there is the ascension, which is the process of the journey. Ascension meaning a vertical journey. Why vertical? Because we want really to increase the way we look at the word. So it's AAA, and I love a mantra, which I repeat to myself each day. I have lots of rituals to keep my energy at the best level possible. So love what you do, dream what you love, and just do what's next.
Awesome.
Acceptance, ambition, ascension.
Well, there you got it, guys, from Dr. Simone Rosati. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you guys for watching today's show of Career Coach Talk. Definitely reach out to the doctor. Follow him on LinkedIn and Facebook. We're going to share, you've seen the graphic already of his information. And thank you guys for watching today. And thank you, sir, for joining us. We definitely appreciate you having you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right,
Roger.
guys. See you
Great
guys
pleasure.
next time. And thank you for watching this episode. Appreciate to see you again. See you later. Thank you for watching today's episode of Career Coach Talk. Are you ready for your next professional version of yourself? Come visit us at mdself.com. Schedule your free consultation or reach out to us via email at coach@mdself.com.